Hi everybody, it's Lene. Thanks for stopping by my channel today. I have another paper bag video for you today, and I'm using from Graphic 45 Autumn Greetings 8x8 paper pack, which I love. I've used this on a previous video, also using a paper bag, where we did a little treat sack, and I used scraps that I had used from work. And then I also did a project on Instagram using this one. So yeah, this collection I received free, actually, as a gift from Graphic 45 via my daytime job, paperwishes.com. So thank you to Graphic 45 and thank you to Paper Wishes for giving it to me. So let's jump right in and take a look at this beautiful 8x8 collection. I love the beautiful white pumpkins on this. This might be my favorite paper. It's so beautiful. And then you've got the orange on the back and the gorgeous fall leaves. And the plaid. We've got the beautiful orange pumpkins with the plaid or gingham on this one. And the beautiful brown gingham. And this gorgeous floral. And I love this with the deer and the foxes and the pumpkins. It's beautiful. Delicious autumn. And then we've got the pumpkins, and then we've got all of these. Now you could use this as a paper, like a background paper as well, but it's really meant to be cut out into little strips and borders, which I love. I should mention you're getting 3 of each of these 8x8 papers in the pack. Look at that gorgeous like burgundy color. And all these cutouts, you're getting 3 pages of each of these. So if you're really wanting this dot, you've got plenty of these cutouts to use. And another one, and look at all the postcards on the back. Definitely going to use those. And then it just starts over again using, so 3 of each of one of those. All right, so put this aside. Oh, also they sent me the great little ephemera pack and also the rub-ons. I'm not sure if I'm going to use the rub-ons or not, but we'll see. Definitely going to use the ephemera. All right, so the paper bags I'm using are gift sacks. They come in a pack just like this. I got these at Hobby Lobby. They've been $2.99 just forever, and they're always on sale. Just no problem. I got them for $1.49 on sale, and there's 12 each. Why I like these? They're 5x8. By when you open them, they're 3/8. 5x8. These are really consistent, whereas the lunch sack type that we can get at the Dollar Tree or just about any grocery store, they're great and they're inexpensive, and that's their benefit, really. But they're not always as accurate as something like a gift sack, which tends to be a little bit more accurate in their measurements. So these are 5x10. Okay, love them. And this is going to be a really easy make. All right, so we're going to take these. I'm not sure how many I'm going to be using, so we're just going to have to count as we go along. You're going to take this. You could score this with your scoreboard, but you really don't need to. You're just going to fold it over. Okay, I've done this many times. Bone folder is not cooperating. Ah, there we go. Make sure that you get a good fold on that, okay? So on this side, we've got our wonderful little pockets divided with the gusset, and then we've got a page, and you could make this a full other page, or you could use it as a little tuck spot. All right, so I'm going to do another one of these, and then we're going to cut some paper down. And what's really great about this one is that you're using the same cuts over and over and over again. I'm going to give you the measurements, and that's why this one just goes together so quickly. So if you're wanting to make kind of a last minute Thanksgiving thing, this is the one to make. All right, so we've got these 2, and then I already folded these 2. All right, so usually what I have you guys do is take each one of these and cover them with paper, and then we do a binding. But I think this time, because of how we're going to put it to the binding, it might be easier to have you do the gluing of it first. So what we're going to do is take our pages that are like this. Okay, so the open page, the openings for the paper bag, they're going to go like this. Okay, so I'm going to take my glue, and we're going to make a pocket out of these. So we're going to take the glue and run it on just one paper bag like this, and like this. Notice I'm not right up next to the fold, the edge rather, because I want to have a little squish room for that glue. All right, and we're doing this. Okay, and then making sure the bottom is secure. And when that dries, we're gonna have a pocket here and then a pocket in between them. So it's gonna hold a lot of stuff, all right? And in the meantime, you've got a cover, a tuck spot, and a page. So we're gonna just kind of keep going here. So now that we've got this one done, now we can take another one and we can do these sides. Okay, so these are the tuck spot sides or the gusseted sides. Okay, there we go. So this is a no-sew all glue binding. And we're just going to shut this. The most important part of this, because I've done variations of this in the past with you guys, the most important part is you want to keep the binding right here, the folded part, you want to keep those aligned. It's not as important if these are out of order, and that is true with any kind of sack you use. All right, there we go. And we've got this one where we are going to do these sides, the open sides put together. And then we're going to see how big this is. We're going to visualize. Okay. Okay, making sure this is all aligned. It is. All right, so that gives us a cover. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, I think, because if we do another one, let's see how, I'm really paying attention to the thickness of it. Let's see what that's gonna look like. No, that's not bad. Let's do another one. Because let's see. I think I want to end on an opening like this instead of like this. Do I? Let's see. I have to think about it. Yeah, I think we're going to stop right there. All right, I used 4 bags. All right, and while we're cutting paper, I'm just going to take this clip, and I'm just going to clip that right like that. You could do all the sides if you want, but that's okay. All right. All right, before I put this away, we should definitely do this little measurement. Okay, so now you are 5 inches by 5 inches square. All right, now we're going to set this aside to dry. All right, so now we're going to take our paper cutter. Yes, I know I have to turn it this way because I got to have this on the left side. I don't know. Now we're going to take this and we are going to cut it. And don't worry, I've written these measurements down. At 4 3/4. Okay, and we're just going to cut that 4 3/4 by 4 3/4, making that little square. Okay, that's going to cover 1 page. Now this little piece that we have left, it's 4 3/4 of an inch tall. Great, we're going to use that. But now we're just going to cut it down to 2 3/4. Okay, those are our first 2 cuts. So let's take a look. I'm just going to use this extra bag that I cut. So this 4 3/4 inch square by 4 3/4 inch square, that could go on our cover, and it can also go on any of the pages on the inside, as well as that little tuck pocket page if you don't want to have it be a tuck spot. All right, so that works out great. So assuming you do, it could go like this. And this one, remember, is 2 3/4 inch by 4 3/4 inch. It can go here. But if we have more of these from other papers, you can turn one over and it can also go here. And then you can put another one here. So we're gonna those are the pieces that we're cutting. So here are the measurements. Here is the 4 3/4 of an inch square. And here is the 2 3/4 inch by 4 3/4 inch rectangle. Those are the shapes that we're cutting through the whole thing. So I like that that's really easy. All right. So I'm going to cut some more paper down and get everything kind of glued away, and then I'll be right back. All right, I've got some pages covered. Let me show you what I did. So here's our little tuck spot right here. Something can go right there. Full page. Didn't do anything to these yet. So on this one, I didn't want to have a tuck spot page. I wanted 2 full pages, so I covered them both with 4 3/4 inch squares. Here's another little tuck spot right here, or rather, this is a full pocket. Okay, there we go. All right, 2 more full pages. More pockets with the one in between. All right, so now we get to the end. I'm going to show you how we did these, how I did these. I don't have help. All right, so this one, I'm going to glue the coordinating matching paper right here. And then I want to glue something that's not, I mean, this is patterned, but it's not quite as vibrant as these. And the reason why is whatever I'm going to tuck in here, like tags or something like that, they're going to show up better tucked on something like this than they will on like this. And we'll demonstrate that shortly. And I know this is a page, the paper right here that has all the great cutouts. But remember, we had 3 of them, so something had to be sacrificed. All right, and I'm just making sure I can kind of align this paper with this one right here. Now we're going to take some glue and we're just going to put it here and here. And that's going to glue this down for our little tuck spot. All right, so let's move on. Let's talk about the cover and the back cover. So I want to do some layering on the front cover. And where I really love the blue, that gorgeous pumpkin paper, if I'm using a paper that's a little too busy, if I'm taking these little cute cutouts and stuff, the foliage on them tends to disappear a little bit. So here's what I'm thinking. Do something like this. And then we could always use something like this. And then layer it with this and see how nicely that's really going to pop. Okay, even better, this. Now we're really picking up all the details here. We can add one of the little cutout greetings. Move this over a little bit. Move this up. See, we're just kind of moving things around. But before we make any decisions on that, we need to do a closure. We're going to do a ribbon closure on this one. So we don't need to do the ribbon very far because it is going to just stick out like this. This is a 12-inch length of ribbon. It's burgundy with a little stitch of black because I like how it's going to pick up with that burgundy on the front like this. And then that's just going to get covered. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one. We're going to put this one on the back. You could use either side. You will notice that I am not inking this one. It's hard for me to not ink. But I know some people don't like to do that, so I've been kind of trying to switch back and forth. It's also great for beginners who don't want to ink, maybe they don't have all those supplies. All right, so this one's going to go right there. That is so gorgeous on the back too. So when you're choosing papers, especially for things like your cover, I know what I want to put, what kind of layering I want to do, so I'm just kind of keeping that in mind. I'm also going to be covering this with a binding, so I want to keep everything kind of over to this side, over to the right a little bit. All right, so this deer has got to get used. So cute. And I want to use this as well. I'm not so, I don't have to have the pumpkin show. You could just sort of peek up a little bit. like that. But I do want another little splash of color. These are just little scraps that were left over after we cut down our paper. So, I mean, I can definitely do this. Kind of have some paper piece. Okay, we've got another little one that we could bring in right here. So we're bringing in these colors, but we're not competing with our cute little cutout and our little die cut deer. So cute. All right, I think I like how that's gonna look. Might have to move everything over here for the binding. Okay, let's get this glued down. And then we're going to use these other patterns that are just so wonderful. We're going to be using those a lot on the inside for tags and for other things like that. My favorite part is the embellishment on the inside. Okay, and we're going to put that about there. I love how everything is reversible. Okay, so we're going to take this and just kind of align that so we're like making sure to get the words in there. That's the most important part. Cute. How cute to like, should we pop him up? Should we foam tape him? Let's do that. Let me grab my foam tape out of my secret drawer. Just a little bit on those ears to keep those stabilized. A little bit here. And I think this last piece will do. All right. So while I'm peeling foam tape, I should mention how I love to give my projects away to my subscriber friends. So you guys definitely let me know what you would do with this, how you would make your own, whatever you want to tell me in the comments. That will enter you to win, but you also have to be a subscriber. So we ask that you do hit that subscribe button, and so, you know, give us a thumbs up. So like, comment, subscribe. And then that will get you in our little contest that we have. And then you have to watch next week's video to find out if your username is shown under the congratulations. Okay, I really like how that looks. I love that dimension on there. That's so cute. Now we're going to do a little binding with a scrap that we might have left. Okay, we did a little U-turn here. So instead of a paper binding, which I usually do, we're going to do a felt binding. So this is just felt I got at Joann Fabrics. I got it on sale, so it was like, I think 40 cents a piece, 50 cents maybe. This one is, what color? Walnut. It's a really nice brown, and I think that's going to go really nicely. So I cut this little piece of felt, okay, to 2 inches wide, and it's that 4 3/4 inch tall, okay? So now we're just going to take a little bit of glue, hot glue. I'm just going to put that right along the edge. Still loving my fancy glue gun. That was a gift from my sister-in-law and editor, Carrie. Hi, Carrie. And we're going to glue that right down like that. And we're going to turn it over. See, we're not burning our hands this time, Lene. And we're just going to go right there. Okay, and then I'm just kind of giving it a little bit of space. I kind of glued it over a little far. I want a little bit of space in there. You don't want that tight against the paper. You want to have it a little bit of room in there so that it can move. Oh, if I can get that straight. There we go. All right, so get rid of that. Now we have this nice little spot there, and we could take, this is one of the scraps that was left over from when we were cutting down paper. We could glue that right to that. Yes, you can glue paper to felt. in felt paper. We could do that. Or this is one of the little borders that is from the paperback, which I love this one. This little leaf one. So we're going to do that. Now this one's a little more narrow, so we have to be careful. This color on the back gives you an idea about which paper I cut it from. There we go. Something a little different. All right, oof. Now to take care of all those little glue strings, if you're having problems with those, you can always just take a hot hair dryer and just kind of go over your space and they disappear. Okay, so that is going to be, that's the front, all right? And then the back is this one. We can tie this in a nice little bow. Now, you could be done right there if you didn't want to do anything else, and you could put the cutest little, you know, contemporary photos. You could tuck like that. You could have a cute little photo album. You could turn this into a recipe book and use, of course you'd have to cut this down. I just pulled this out of my photo stash. But you could have photos of Thanksgiving, and then in the pockets you could put the recipes for special family recipes, hand those down to the younger generations. You could use photos, heritage photos, you guys. Okay, share your heritage photos. Don't just keep them in a box. Share them. Okay, you could definitely put those on there. We're going to do some of all of that, and when I come back, I'm going to have some tags made, and we'll just talk through how I embellish the inside of this cute little book. All right, so let's check out what I did here. I made some little layered tags, which are always fun, and then using some of the ephemera bits. There was so much to choose from in this pack. Graphic 45 always does a fantastic job with that. So I just foam taped a little bit right there. I have this little twine, that's a little thrift find, where I like to double that twine and just tie little bows, and then that can just stick right in there and then just stick out like that. You can see right there, we've got a cute little chicky little bird right there. On this page, if you want to expand your book for more pages without actually using more paper bags, you can just add a little tip out page. So this one right here is the matching coordinating paper. I'll grab my ruler, and it is 4 3/4. And then I just made it a little bit longer, so it's 5 1/4. Okay, and then I folded back 1/4 of that. We're going to glue this just like that. We're going to take one of these little paper bag pockets right there. We're going to glue that right in there. Okay, and we're just going to let that dry. There we go. That's what it looks like on the inside. So that when you're flipping through your book, you can tip this page out and you can have more space. Okay, so that's really fun and easy to do. And then you could just take one of these, but I love fall most of all. And if you don't want to glue this down, I have all these different little paper clips. I like using the gold ones. Ooh, this one's turned into a little puzzle piece. There we go. And then you can just do this. You can just clip it down. This is great if you're giving it to someone too, because then they can just take a photo, or you can add that photo in there and they can just do that. They can remove it. So it's kind of a temporary hold spot, but it still looks pretty. So you've got your little extra page in here. And then right here, we've got places where we could put photos, recipes. I love to share recipes. This is my grandmother's dumplings for two, or you could, it's from 1977, but she was actually making these for my father and aunts and uncles back in the 20s. So This was my mother in her impossible to read handwriting. And I love having those copies. So I'm going to make a photocopy of this for my daughter and include it in a little book like that. So she has her grandmother's and her great-grandmother's recipe for dumplings, which, by the way, she loves. So something like that could go in there very easily. But you know what? This centerpiece that has another pocket in it, I don't want anybody to miss that when they are going through their little book that's a gift. So I'm just going to, at the last minute here, let's see if we can do this. What am I doing? Put the punch right side up when I just go like this and then punch that. So there's a little notch there, so it looks a little bit more intentional. Okay, I think that kind of breaks that up a little bit. All right, so this place right here is still another little spot where you could add a cute little photo in there or not. Over here, like that. And this one, remember, this is like the end of the bag where we had another, excuse me, another little pocket. It's a little tag. All right, this space right here, only glued the bottom edge of it, and I trimmed off some of the ephemera at the bottom so that it was flush with the page. Don't be afraid to alter that. This little one right here, okay, so you've just got a little rectangle. It was a little scrap. Here's one of those little cutouts. Write a little note on it. Put it right there. Got a little piece of ephemera with a little piece of foam tape. I want to make sure that's not connecting with this part right here. We're just going to glue that in place. Just actually like this. Forgot what I was going to do with it for a second. Just like that. All right, so now you've got a spot right here that you can take things out of, but we can also put cute things in here to share, like another little tag or another little piece of ephemera to share. Okay, that's super cute. Another little pocket. All right, let's alter this one right here. Got 3 more pockets. Another little tuck spot here and a spot here. So let's make a tag together so you guys know how these work in case you're new to my channel. I have this tag punch with rounded edges that I love. It makes 1.5 inch wide, 2 inch wide, and 2.5 inch wide tags. So you just have to cut your paper to the corresponding width, shove that in there. Now you have a cute little rounded tag. The same thing, this is a 2 inch wide strip. It's important that they fit in there without an overlap. If they overlap, they just don't work right. All right, and then we could glue like that right there. We could put a little more foam tape on there. I will caution you not to use too much foam tape in your book because it just makes it, it adds bulk to it and it's just gonna get bigger and bigger. I'm after some foam tape. Cute. Take my little twine. Take about 12 inches there. Now, if you're not comfortable making bows, I'm just going to tie these together. Ooh, there we go. And we can just do a little overhand knot. But the important thing is that you don't mess with your twine. There we go. The important thing is that you have 2 lengths of this twine, because with one length it just looks kind of skimpy. So you can just tie an overhand knot. Make sure that the knot is kind of at the front. It'd be better even with 3 lengths of twine. And then you want to separate those twine pieces. There we go. Trim a little bit more like that. Now it's if you're not like confident with your bows, that can go right in there. This little guy, just put a little bit of glue there. We don't need a lot. Just squish out. Okay, I'm just trying to check if I got everything. And now we're just going to take this and we're going to tie it up so that it is a cute little gift. So I envision this being like a Thanksgiving traditions book. I think that would be really fun to give to somebody that's younger in your family, where did all those Thanksgiving traditions come from? You know, how come Uncle Bob always carves the turkey? Is there a story about that? You know, what about Grandma's lace tablecloth? Where did that come from? Those kinds of stories will be lost unless you share them, and it's a really nice place to share photos for a photo album and lots of stories included with those. Thanks for joining me today, you guys. Don't forget to participate by liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel so we can give this away to one of our lucky subscriber friends. Watch next week's video to see if you're the winner. Check out my Instagram page, you guys. I would love it if you would follow me there. I like to have new content there every week, if not several times a month. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.